Camilla isn't just losing a husband when Charles dies. She's losing everything. And one of these 20 things? Princess Diana tried to warn us about it in 1995. Royal insiders have been quietly preparing for this moment for years. The problem for Camilla is simple. The protections she enjoys exist only because of Charles. The moment he's gone, William becomes king. And William remembers everything. This is the son who held his mother's hand at her funeral, the boy who walked behind that coffin while Camilla watched from a safe distance. He's waited 30 years for this. 20 privileges, 20 protections, 20 things. Camilla has enjoyed while Diana was denied even a proper royal farewell. All of it reversible. A palace source just confirmed. William has already discussed which titles can be revoked on day 1. In this video, you'll see all 20, ranked from embarrassing to devastating. Number 20 is the one that will finally make everything right. Number 1, her title is Queen. The moment King Charles dies, Camilla is no longer queen. She doesn't lose a royal title completely, but she loses the one she waited 30 years to get. Camilla goes from queen to something called Queen Dowager. That's just a fancy way of saying the widow of a king. Think about that for a second. For decades, Camilla was the other woman, the mistress, the woman Diana blamed for destroying her marriage. Then, slowly, painfully, she clawed her way into being accepted. She became Duchess of Cornwall, then Queen Consort in September 2022, then finally, Queen Camilla at the coronation in May 2023. The last person called Queen Dowager was Queen Adelaide, almost 200 years ago. She outlived King William IV and became Queen Dowager in 1837. Adelaide lived another 12 years. Respected, but nobody paid attention to her anymore. Here's what stings. Camilla will still be called Your Majesty. She'll still technically be a queen, but she won't be the queen. That title goes straight to Catherine, Diana's daughter-in-law. The second William takes the throne. No ceremony, no waiting period. The instant Charles is gone, Camilla gets demoted and Catherine gets promoted. 30 years as the other woman, finally crowned in 2023. And she might only wear that crown for a few years before Diana's daughter-in-law takes it from her. Number 2, her access to the royal jewelry. Now here's where it gets personal. And honestly, this is the one that made me think about Diana. Camilla has worn some of the most expensive jewelry in the world. The Greville tiara, the George VI sapphire tiara, the Burmese ruby tiara, the Greville emerald kokoshnik. She's shown up to state dinners covered in diamonds and emeralds. She's worn pieces that belong to Queen Mary, Queen Elizabeth, and the Queen Mother. None of it belongs to her, not a single piece. These tiaras belong to the royal collection. The king controls who wears them. Right now, Charles decides which tiara Camilla borrows. But once Charles is gone, William decides. Diana's son decides. And you know who's going to be wearing those tiaras? Catherine. The woman William chose, the woman raising Diana's grandchildren, the woman who carries Diana's sapphire engagement ring on her finger each single day. The Greville emerald kokoshnik alone is worth about £10 million. Camilla wore it to a diplomatic dinner in November 2025, but she doesn't own it. She never did. Camilla owns exactly one tiara, the cubit shand tiara from her first marriage. Small, simple. Nothing compared to the treasures in the royal vault. She's already given it to her daughter Laura. Each sparkling crown she's worn as queen, borrowed, each priceless gem, on loan from the family she helped tear apart. Diana would have worn those tiaras. Diana should have worn them for decades. Instead, she was pushed out, and Camilla stepped in. Now William gets to decide who wears them next. And I think we all know the answer. Number 3, her home at Clarence House. Charles and Camilla have lived at Clarence House since 2003, over 20 years, longer than Charles lived anywhere else as an adult. They even chose to stay there after Charles became king, instead of moving to Buckingham Palace. But here's the thing. Clarence House doesn't belong to Camilla. It doesn't even belong to Charles personally. It belongs to the crown. It passes from one king to the next. Cosmopolitan reported that it's unclear if Her Majesty will be allowed to retain quarters at Clarence House once Prince William is king. The decision isn't hers, it's William's. Remember what Harry wrote in Spare? When he moved out, Camilla turned his bedroom into a closet for her clothes. I tried not to care, Harry wrote, but especially the first time I saw it, I cared. She does have Ray Mill House, her own property in the countryside. Bought it for £850,000 in 1996 after her divorce. A friend told The Telegraph it's the only place where she can literally and metaphorically kick off her shoes. But getting kicked out of Clarence House and sent to a country home, that's a public demotion, a message that the widow of the king is no longer welcome in London. Number 4, her place as the king's equal. Right now, Camilla stands next to Charles at each major event. She's his partner, his equal in public. When world leaders visit, they meet the king and the queen. The moment Charles passes, that partnership ends, for good. Camilla becomes William's stepmother, not his equal, not his partner, just a family member. And William gets to decide what role she plays. Royal expert Marco Della Cava told USA Today, the reigning monarch, in this case King William, ultimately controls how much or how little a role Camilla would have in her later years. William controls, not Camilla, not whatever Charles wanted. William. And he's got a long memory. Number 5, her seat at the state opening of Parliament. Each year, the king and queen travel together to Parliament for the state opening. It's one of the most important royal events in Britain. Right now, Camilla sits next to Charles on a throne. She wears the diamond diadem, the famous crown Queen Elizabeth wore on coins and stamps for decades. When William takes over, Camilla doesn't sit on that throne anymore. She might not even get invited. Imagine going from the best seat in the house to the nosebleeds. That's what's waiting for her. Number 6, her place at state dinners. State banquets at Buckingham Palace are the fanciest dinners in Britain. World leaders, ambassadors, presidents, they all come. The most powerful people on earth sit at those tables. Today, Camilla hosts these dinners alongside Charles. She sits at the head of the table. She wears the best jewelry. She represents Britain to the world. She is the hostess of the most exclusive gathering in the nation. When William becomes king, Catherine hosts. Camilla might get an invitation, but she won't be at the head of the table anymore. She'll be seated somewhere down the line based on her new lower rank, from hosting to hoping for an invite. That's the difference. Number 7, her personal staff. As queen, Camilla has her own private secretary, her own office, her own team of people who handle her schedule and her work. The moment Charles is gone, that changes fast. After Queen Elizabeth died, Clarence House announced, the operations of the household have ceased. Some redundancies will be unavoidable. Translation? People got fired. The whole team got rearranged. Same thing happens when Charles passes. Camilla's team? Some get moved around, some get let go, some just disappear. She'll have some help as Queen Dowager, but nothing like what she has now, not even close. Number 8, her ladies-in-waiting. Camilla has ladies-in-waiting, now called Queen's Companions, who help her at official events. They're friends who've been by her side for years. When she becomes Queen Dowager, things change. Some companions might retire. Others get moved to different jobs. The group of women who've surrounded her for years will get smaller and smaller. The women she's counted on for decades, one by one, they move on. Number 9, her spot in the royal pecking order. There's something called the Order of Precedence. It's basically the royal pecking order. Who walks through doors first, who sits in the best seat at dinner, who gets announced before everyone else at formal events. Right now, Camilla is at the very top. Only Charles ranks higher than her. She walks into rooms first. She gets introduced before anyone else. She commands the attention the moment she arrives. Once Charles passes, she drops. Hard. Catherine becomes the top-ranked woman in the whole kingdom. Princess Charlotte, Princess Anne, and other royals all move up. Camilla slides way down the list, from first through the door to waiting her turn, from best seat in the house to wherever they put her. That's the new order. Number 10. Her voice in royal decisions. Right now, Camilla whispers in the king's ear. When decisions get made about the royal family, who gets invited where, what events to attend, how to handle problems, Camilla has influence. Charles listens to his wife. He values her opinion. He includes her in the conversations that matter. When William takes over, her voice doesn't matter nearly as much. William will listen to Catherine. He'll listen to his advisors. He might be polite to Camilla, but she'll take whatever role she's given. She won't be consulted. She won't be included in the decisions that shape the family's future. And if William's feelings about his stepmother are complicated, royal author Christopher Anderson told Us Weekly that William just tolerates Camilla, then her future could be very limited. We've covered 10 things Camilla loses: her title, her home, her jewelry, her staff, her voice. But the final 10 are just as bad. From her public image to her everyday freedom, everything changes when Diana's son takes the throne. Number 11. Her trips representing Britain. Camilla has traveled the world as queen. Official visits to France, Germany, Kenya, and more. She represents Britain alongside Charles wherever they go. She meets with presidents and prime ministers. She attends state dinners in foreign capitals. She is the face of British royalty abroad. The moment William takes the throne, those trips stop completely. William and Catherine become the face of Britain to the world. Camilla might travel for charity work here and there, but she won't represent the country. She won't meet with world leaders. She won't be part of the diplomatic missions. That job belongs to Catherine now. Diana's daughter-in-law takes over. The woman Diana never got to meet becomes the global ambassador Diana should have been. Number 12, her government money. Working royals get money from something called the sovereign grant. It's basically taxpayer money that pays for their official work, their staff, their travel, and their expenses. Camilla gets a lot of money right now as queen. Her clothes, her travel, her household bills, all paid for. The lifestyle she's become accustomed to, funded by the British public. When she becomes Queen Dowager, that money gets looked at again. She'll probably get a smaller amount. Enough for a few events, but nothing like what she gets today. William will make that call. He controls the money. And honestly, he's got no reason to be generous. Number 13, her bodyguards. As queen, Camilla has bodyguards watching her around the clock. They're specially trained police officers who protect the royal family. When she becomes Queen Dowager, her security level drops. She's not the main target anymore. She's a widow. Her protection team will almost certainly shrink. The officers protecting her now will get moved to William, Catherine, and the kids. Another daily reminder that she's been knocked down a few pegs. Number 14, her fancy cars and travel. The Royal Garage provides fancy cars for working royals. Bentleys, Range Rovers, the special cars used for big events. Police escorts, motorcades through city streets. As queen, Camilla gets first pick. She travels in style. The best vehicles are at her disposal whenever she needs them. Once Charles is gone, her access changes. The best cars go to William and Catherine. Camilla gets whatever's left, or has to arrange her own ride. The days of the royal motorcade with police escorts clearing the way, those belong to the new queen now. Number 15, her spot at Trooping the Color. Trooping the Color is the king's official birthday celebration. There's a parade, a balcony appearance at Buckingham Palace, and military jets flying overhead. Right now, Camilla stands right next to Charles on that balcony, front and center, the queen celebrating with her king. When William becomes king, Catherine takes that spot. Camilla might still show up on the balcony, but she'll be pushed off to the side, no longer in the middle, no longer next to the king. The cameras won't be on her anymore. They'll focus on Catherine, on the kids, on the future. And Camilla, she's the past. Number 16. Her 100-plus charities. According to the royal website, Camilla officially supports over 100 charities. When she becomes Queen Dowager, those charities will be looked at again. Some might want a younger, more visible queen as their face. And that means Catherine, not Camilla. Royal expert Marlene Koenig told Reader's Digest that Camilla would probably keep working with her charities. But will she keep all 100? William might push her to step back. And when a king suggests something, it's not really a suggestion. Number 17. Her freedom to choose her own schedule. Right now, Camilla picks her own schedule. She chooses which events to attend, which charities to visit, which invitations to accept. As Queen Dowager, that freedom goes away. Her schedule will have to be cleared by the palace. She'll have to make sure she's not stepping on William and Catherine's events. She'll need permission, spoken or not, for any big public appearance. The woman who made her own plans becomes a woman who works around everyone else. She asks. They decide. That's the new reality. Number 18. Her time in the spotlight. As queen, Camilla is always being photographed, interviewed, and talked about. Each dress, each public appearance, each tiara she picks. It all makes headlines. When Catherine becomes queen, the cameras follow her instead. Camilla becomes old news. The tabloids focus on the new queen, the young family, the next generation. Camilla fades from front pages to barely a mention. For a woman who spent 30 years as the most hated woman in Britain before fixing her image, becoming invisible might be the worst fate of all. At least when they hated her, they noticed her. Number 19. Her place in family photos. Official royal photos always feature the king, the queen, and their heirs. The Christmas cards, the coronation pictures, the balcony shots. Today, Camilla is front and center in each official picture. When William becomes king, the official photos will show William, Catherine, George, Charlotte, and Louis. Camilla might show up in the big group pictures, but she won't be in the center anymore. The woman who fought for decades to be accepted becomes optional. Nice to have around, but not needed. Number 20. Her identity as Queen Camilla. This last one's different. It's harder to put into words, but it might matter more than all the others combined. Camilla spent 30 years being called the Rottweiler, the third person in the marriage, the most hated woman in Britain. She got blamed for Diana's pain, blamed for breaking up the royal marriage, blamed for everything that went wrong. She worked for years to fix her reputation. Slowly, painfully, she changed how people saw her. She took on charity work. She supported causes close to her heart, teaching people to read, helping abuse victims, fighting bone disease. She smiled through angry crowds. She kept going even when people booed her in public. And finally, the public accepted her. They didn't love her, but they accepted her. She earned respect. She earned her place. She finally became Queen Camilla, a title that meant she'd been forgiven, that she belonged, that she wasn't the villain anymore. When Charles dies, that identity is gone forever. She becomes the Queen Dowager, the widow, the former queen, the woman who used to matter. The cameras stop following her. The headlines mention her less and less. People move on to the next chapter, King William and Queen Catherine, the future. Diana died as a princess and became a legend. Her face is frozen in time, young, beautiful, loved, tragic. She'll be remembered as the people's princess forever. Camilla will grow old as a Queen Dowager. She'll watch from the sidelines as Diana's son runs the kingdom. She'll watch Diana's daughter-in-law wear the crown she fought so hard to earn. That's the final thing Camilla loses when Charles dies. The identity she spent a lifetime fighting for, and there's nothing she can do to get it back. Diana won. Not just in the hearts of millions who never forgot her. She won because her son, the boy who walked behind that coffin, will one day hold all the power, and Camilla will have none. 20 things Camilla loses when Charles dies: her title, her home, her jewelry, her staff, her voice, her spotlight, all decided by Diana's son. She waited 30 years to wear the crown. She might only keep it for a few more before everything gets taken away. But here's what makes it worse. William will have powers Camilla can't even imagine. 30 things only he can do as king, including the one that decides her whole future. Click here to discover the 30 things only Prince William can do as king, and why Camilla should be very, very worried.